Hello everyone! In this new stitch video, I'm going to show you how to do the crossed stitch rib. This stitch provides a fabric that's very nice and stretchy. This is the right side, this is the wrong side, which looks pretty much like a regular rib. But the right side, you can see it has these beautiful little twisty rows. And this is a style of knitting using crossed stitches where you don't need a cable needle. You're crossing the stitches or twisting the stitches just using regular needles. I don't have a project knit up with this one, but I just have a couple of swatches here. This is with skinnier yarn, as you can see, and with a lighter color, so you can see what it looks like in a lighter color, as well as here in a darker, slightly thicker yarn. So let me show you how that's done. I've provided the pattern in the description field below for knitting this pattern, not just in the flat, but also in the round. I'm only going to demonstrate the flat one here, but you'd pretty much use the same techniques to knit it in the round. And I think because it works great as a rib stitch to use for, let's say, the cuff of a sock, I think it would look great. Okay, so the pattern is knit over a multiple of 3 stitches plus 1. So for this demonstration, I have 9 stitches plus 1, so 10 stitches in total. And it's just a 2-row repeat. So the first row is a knit 1 and then a purl 2, knit 1, repeat for the rest of the row. So we're going to do purl 2, knit 1 and purl 2, knit 1 and then purl 2, knit 1, since I only have 3 repeats for this row. And that is the end of row 1. Then you're going to turn your work and do row 2. And row 2 is where you're going to cross the stitch. So to cross the stitch of this row, the first stitch is just a purl 1. So we do the purl 1. And now we take the yarn to the back because we're going to be knitting the next 2 stitches. So doing a cross 2 RK or a cross 2 right knit, what that means is take your right needle and actually insert it into the second stitch on the left needle, just as if you are knitting that second stitch. So just think to yourself that the first stitch here doesn't even exist, that you're just inserting and knitting the second stitch first, okay? And knit it. But obviously you can't drop that stitch because you still have that first stitch. So then you're going to take that right needle, reinsert it into that first stitch and knit that as well. So we've made 2 stitches out of these 2 stitches. So we have not increased, we're just twisting them or crossing them, and then you're going to drop both stitches on the left needle off. And then the next stitch is just a purl 1. So the repeat for the rest of the row is doing a cross 2 RK, purl 1, cross 2 RK, purl 1. So again, let's see that a couple more times. You're going to take your right needle, insert it into the second stitch, knit, insert into the first stitch, knit, and then drop both stitches off. And then purl 1. And it helps if the knitting is a little bit on the looser side when you're doing this pattern, and you can see how the stitches are starting to cross. And if you keep doing these 2 rows, then your work is going to start to look like this. So I hope you give this one a try. I think just a couple more points about this stitch. I think it looks very similar to a cluster rib stitch, but the cluster rib stitch uses a different pattern. And then also the twisting, there's different ways of achieving this twist. You can also do what's called a right twist, and I've used that, or we've used that or seen that before in the mock cable pattern. And I've provided links to both those videos, the cluster rib and the mock cable stitch, at the end of this video if you want to check those out. But I think this technique of crossing stitches is really not that difficult. I would put this at an advanced beginner level, and you can cross stitches with the right twist as well as with like a left leaning twist. And so hopefully in the future I'll have more videos with using this crossed stitch technique. But give this one a try. Let me know if you like it. Please click the like button if you like the video, and subscribe to my channel, Knittycat's Knits. Thank you for watching, and happy knitting!